Good morning, good day to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers programs from Keshe Foundation Space Institute. We are still in time. We haven't missed the time to bring peace. Mankind has still have that chance to jump and to learn and to educate itself. Many of you have asked, when is that time? Why don't we achieve the peace time? Why don't we achieve world peace? The truth is, it's exactly the same as the soul of the man and the soul of physicality of the man and the soul of a child has to create that time. And everything has to be arranged for it to be. And when it comes, that's the time. A lot of things need to come together. Mankind as a whole has to learn to become at peace. The world of the creation, all the animals have to be, in a way, enlightened that the peace accepted by man and the beast at the same time. So when we ask why we don't have peace, when is the time? The soul of the planet Earth, the soul of what creates life on this planet, has to tune to the time to be done. This time is not very much as we decide. The way you can elevate your soul, the way you create different kind of breathing, and the way the time comes when we increase the fields of our separation between the soul and the soul of physicality, the time of death and everything else, comes as collection of fields which this planet, which is us, has tuned, and everything has come to time. So something has to be understood. The volcanic eruption is like the way man breathes, the anger we have, the change of pace. What comes from within us affects that time. And we look at the volcanic eruption as just something which happens, something comes out. But you have to understand how much energy, how much additional energies are released by this, that it enlightens us. We see massive eruptions in the coming time because it's another cycle. We see what we call the creation of energies, like the way the man breathes and changes it, comes to that point. Thank you very much. And this is part of the same process. We are part of that elevation, that's part of the energy, which that energy and collectively creates that time. Is it near? Is it man ready for that change? Are we in the process of bringing a lot of things together? Man's behavior, energy which a man releases, and what the planet has for it to go through that change. We create time for ourselves. Planet has its own time. And when that time matches the behavior of the man, now man is the soul of physicality, the collective soul of humanity, and the trees and the plants and the shrubs and the animals, collectively they are that soul of physicality of the soul of the earth, which is within center of it. When these two tune in the time, in the strength, is the time when man elevates, when man rises to a next challenge, or man falls from that challenge. And the creation of this time is so important that we collectively feel it when the time comes. It's just like waiting at the gate of the airport, waiting for the lawman to come through the gate, and you know it's there, it has to appear anytime. This time for man is that time. All the indications of it are elevation of the soul of the man, which with it will bring the change in the life of this planet, which with it will create a new cycle of solar physicality of the planet, but all these created things that in balance with the soul of the planet, which is within the center of the planet, which dictates most of our behavior, will lead to, in a way, creation of new cycle of wisdom. This magic promise that when the promised one comes, the promised one is us, which when the time comes, we mature to understand the cycle of the life. And when we stop all the killing and the rest of it. So we always looked at, yeah, my soul, your soul, the cat, the dog, but collectively, all our souls, because as was said, when the stone has a soul, collectively, we make the soul of physicality of this planet. And collectively, we are in tune, in balance with the soul of this planet. And these are options, volcanic options. What we see comes from inside the planet. The fields of it, the gravitational fields and everything else are emitted by the soul of it. And then it changes the dimension of the soul, the strength of it. And when that time matches with the total soul of the created things on this planet, it's the time of promised one, the promised time that collectively, as we said, we have the dimension of place, position, and possession. And this time we have the emotion which changes the soul of the man, as the soul of physicality of the man, will bring that elevation of the soul, what we call not only understanding, it brings comprehension, the enlightenment, which that enlightenment enlighten all of us. All beings will get enlightened. The point of promise one. And a new cycle starts. It's not the end of the world, it's going to be heaven and hell. Is that we all have to mature at the same time. That collectively we don't kill, collectively we don't destroy. Collectively we live by the ethos of Mitra, but also ethos of the Creator, which is love, giving. So you've got to understand, the humanity has to understand that soon man reaches that point of understanding. It's the time for us as what we call human race, which goes through that cycle. Sorry to interrupt. Rick, can you allow the number 6 to be able to change things in the background? As a co-host.
They should be able to do that by hearing.
No, it's okay, because you have a hand up. I don't know whose hands up is up. Just me. Why is my hand is up? Okay.
We have another one, 001. I can promote them, the panelists.
No. We need 0006 to be promoted to the panelists.
They're already co-host and panelist.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much.
You can't do any more on that. I can put the sharing to multiple panelists can share simultaneously, but that might mess things up. I think we have to keep it one panelist can share at a time. So they'll have to just take over the sharing.
So number 6 needs to be co-host sharing. No problem. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
It says me, my hand is up, but I don't know why my hand is up. If you can put my
I
hand
can
up.
lower that.
Yes,
And
please.
we also have a hand up with Lisbeth. I think she wants to come in as panelist. Is that okay or
No, no, we don't need that. I don't think
okay?
so. Thank you very much. Uh, so in that process, we have to understand that now the time has come. What we look at, um, what we consider as the time, sorry if I take some breaks in teaching. We are doing a special edition today, and we'll explain to you later. So if I go quiet for a few seconds, it's just that things need to be coordinated around the Keshe Foundation. So what we understand is that the addition to position of the soul of physicality of the man, the soul of the man, what we yearn for peace, in a way, we take a deeper breath to, or we change the position of our breathing to, or we put ourselves in a position to receive more energy at the level of the strength of the soul or the soul of physicality, the way we have learned to do, to balance, to transmute, or whatever. This is done, change in the structure of the soul of physicality of this planet by birth of a new child, eruption of the volcanic eruptions, changes in the inner structure, because it's not only the soul of physicality is changing, the soul of the planet inside changes too. And when these two balance, tune to the time, it will be the time of the promised time, when everything will change, when man will be enlightened, when the enlightenment should bring peace because we are of the higher order. We move from consuming into being part of, and we will see the change. So the time for humanity, for what you're yearning, will happen when collectively they feel the strength of the dynamics of this planet balanced with the soul of this planet. Man is not happy with the planet. The planet is not happy with its citizens. And in that process, the new dimension of the fields, changes of the fields, will bring, will dictate, will change the fields which the man receives. In a way, what was this planet missing to give to its citizens that push its citizens to kill will be balanced off. It'll feed its citizens. It'll bring peace to its citizens. And that cycle will bring a new knowledge, a new understanding, a new revolution and evolution in the life of the citizens of this planet, which is all of us, the animals and plants and everything else included. In a way, if you look at it, this planet, what we call the life of this, every life on this planet, is like a cell on the body of the man. Each cell has its own soul. So the cat with his soul is the soul of one cell in the structure of this planet. Man with his soul is another cell in the structure of it. And collectively, they create that soul of physicality and they create a time. They change that time, that when it balances with the soul, the time of the soul of this planet will create the promised time. And that time is very close. There are reasons for it. There are signs for it. And it does not matter if your time, your half-life time has been called upon, or you're still in the life of the cycle on this planet, or you pass this time, you're already gone through the half-life, but you're still connected and you feed the energy to this planet, will be enlightened by the change. You are aware of the change. And you create that time. Collective interaction of the fields will create that time. When you change the matter to a gas, you change the condition parameters of the what we call the energies of the soul, of the physicality of the man. It's not that it was the atom of a copper and now it's a gas of the copper. It's the same, but the dynamic of the energy is like when you eat an apple. It's a solid, but when you chew it, it becomes an energy, and then it makes the man move. Now we are in that process. I observe this very clearly, very closely. Man is in that position, or not the man, but the cycle of life on this planet is in that position. That we will see the change. To what extent we shall see. Man will be enlightened. We come to the new cycle of the knowledge. We come to a new cycle of understanding. The whole race of life on this planet will be elevated. It's not just because I say so, because we see the indication of it. All the indicators are going that way. The knowledge of the man, the way the whole planetary structure is moving in that way, is going through that hiccup, through that step or elevation of the what we call the comprehension, the enlightenment, the new energy which will enlighten the whole humanity. We see this in the behavior of the animals in the past 12 months. We see this in the behavior of humanity in so many ways. We see the trees and the shrubs have changed position. We see changes in the atmospheric condition. We see change the way the planet is breathing. Last times, as we say, a meteorite changed the condition of the man to become what it is. Now, the condition of the inner sanctum of this planet will create that new time. And when the balance comes, when the energies are released, when that energy is of such a high order, will enlighten all. And that enlightenment is when the man stops killing, when the man behaves, understands the process of the creation. And in that process, we come to a new comprehension. We come to the point that matter state, it becomes irrelevant. Tangibility becomes irrelevant. Existence to its maximum becomes relevant. Where we even care when we put a foot down, what is underneath of our feet. Where we can lift ourselves, does not matter if I go into danger, that creature, that thing is not. As I said to a very close friend of mine once, when man matures, there'll be no much of these mosquito killing slappers. Because mosquito exists. It will not touch me to bother me because it receives its energy. I don't need to kill it. In a way, as I said once before, no ladies will jump on the chair when they see a spider. Because it's not there to harm me. I'm there to enjoy its beauty. We see this, the evolution of the science, and we see this through evolution of the things which are happening around us. Don't let little things and wars and conflicts and beautiful things distract you. All this is setting up for that final day. where the man matures, but the man, not just the man, the whole planetary system, which is alive, from the fish to man to plant to animals, will be enlightened in a way that they know how to receive energy from the planet. Planet will go back into what it was supposed to do from the beginning, to nourish its citizens, not to banish its citizens, not to abolish its citizens. That in that process, man kills, animal kills, just because the mother hasn't fed me enough, I'll find something to eat because I'm still hungry. But the hunger of the man never finished, because to the structure of the magnetic gravitational field of the planet, that gravity is taking energy from us. You want to go away from me, I hold on to you. So you have to use energy to walk. You have to energy to move. But I suck the more or less energy and the blood out of you. It's not that you'll float, it's that we become adapted to understand the new condition, that our cells does not need that attachment. That in a way the planet will let us go if we want to. Evolution of the science has to come by understanding the creation of when that time comes, when we are enlightened, and when things changes. I go back, especially very tentatively, I touch the behavior of the animals in one of the lands of this planet, moving away from where it was, moving in the opposite direction. We see this in many, many creatures. Even the fishes have changed direction in some parts. Even the trees have changed the direction of the motion. We see humanity will move in a different direction as these fields start interacting and enlightening us. We see massive eruptions, which is in a way the energy from the center to come out and adds to its atmosphere, which absorbs by us the whole of the created things. And this will point to something very, very clear. As we see it, the creation of time, understanding the process of it, brings us to the next point, where what is the emotion of this planet that connects the emotion of the man is created things to that of the structure of the planet, which with it will bring the enlightenment. Would this planet move to save us? Would this planet will release energy within that allows to create, to increase, to enlighten the knowledge of these created things? In a way, mother releases energy that with that energy feeds its citizens, feeds its children. It looks like that way. It looks like it's about to happen. We see a lot of indications and a lot of indicators. We're not going to prophesize, but this cycle can be tomorrow, can be next month, can be next year, and can be in 10 years' time. But the process has started, and there are very clear indications for this change. Is humanity in the process to witness one of the biggest changes in this planetary system? Is our future as sole citizens of this planet are ready to move, are ready to take the next step to become part of the totality of the creation of what we call the universal community? has the time been created, which the time of the solar physicality and the soul of the planet matches up and creates that departure, which allows a new cycle of knowledge, enlightenment, and different type of life, where in a way the planet takes its responsibility of looking after its citizens, its children, is what is attached to it, where up to now has ignored. Then it comes to what can mankind do to speed this up, or what can mankind do to bring that change? And all the teachings of all the pastime teachings of all the prophets, all the teachers, all what they brought us to another enlightenment has made us ready for that change. Are we going to doubt? Are we going to question? Or we watch and we say everything has changed? Would the time comes that we can, in a way, feed the citizens of this planet through the love of this planet? Why does a planet has to have a rage to, in a way, destroy what is created, be it the life of the man, be it the, whatever the cycle which it tramples on? Then you understand, as you change your breathing, I said, the planet and the citizens of this planet are racing towards that time of separation. In a way, when the two balance, the separation will come. The half-life of this planet, the half cycle of life on this planet. But this time, what will be interesting is that would the citizens of this planet get enlightened, or would the citizens of this planet will get the light switched off? What happened in the dimension of physicality? I leave behind a physical dimension, but I take the soul and go. There is a big question which one day man has to answer, one day the humanity has to answer. Can he do anything to change this, to speed it up, to bring the point of the separation much, much closer than man has ever known? Can we feed the man through a system which man does not need to kill, and allows the life to expand, that he finds his balance, and then with it one's balance with his peace of creation, of the time of physicality and the time of the soul of this planet? Would the time come when man shall not kill to eat? Animals won't kill to eat. And man finds that balance. Or the soul of the physicality of the planet finds its balance, and with it we all change. What is interested for us, or what is interesting for us, is the time of milk and honey. is it for us to receive the energies that allows us to be happy with what we are, who we are, without destroying another life? Would humanity go through another change, enlightenment? Would the whole life goes through the time racing to change that time? I hope soon you as knowledge seekers understand the purpose of the teaching of today. We don't prophesize, but we see the sign. And are we ready for that change, to accept a new time? Can we contemplate in what is going to be? In the next few days, we make an announcement and we start setting the structure for the new world order in a totally different way, in a way that changes and takes away the burden of to be alive and to suffer, to be alive, to take pleasure to be alive. And that falls back on the hand of the knowledge seekers to spread the new ways around, that it takes hold very rapidly. Where, as I said in the meeting today, where it doesn't matter if you're a child born in back villages of a nation and a child born in the palaces of the kingdom, will have the same security. We have to bring the change not from when it comes later on. We have to make the life beautiful from the time when the child is born, where the mother does not have to be worried if my child will have milk, would my child will have clothing, will my child have anything to live. We have started a life in poverty, where we have to start a life in richness, that with it, it brings a different attitude and lifestyle to humanity. In a very short time, we'll lay out the course for this. It's not months away, it's days and hours away. Where every child is not born with a sack of gold on his back. Every child is a responsibility of the whole humanity to bring to prosperity. And with it, with having a peaceful child, we change the time, and the man will this time takes hold of time to bring peace to the rest. I'm not a dreamer because I have set it up to start working. And you as knowledge seekers have been there. We're going to change the time, but changing the time from the time of the start. No child should be born into poverty, and no man should die from poverty. And this is what we have started, we set up, and hopefully by next week, I'll explain to you exactly how it's going to work. We bring a peaceful soul to the man, that in elevation of it will bring that time of balance to balance with the soul of the planet's time, that will bring that change. It's not anymore throwing gases in the rivers and oceans, is changing the emotion, that with it, it brings enlightenment, and with it, it brings that peace the man needs. We took everything from each other to live, and by stealing more, we became more arrogant. And when they wanted what we stole from them, it's their fault. I take because what I am. And we made kingships to do that. We made nations to become nation of thieves, and because we've stolen so much is our habit. That is your fault. You have done something wrong. You don't let us rule you. We don't let us to destroy you because we want to be. And through a new structure, we'll bring that change. And some of you are already part of that change without you knowing. You wanted to, you became part of. So we change the emotion this time, which with it brings the balance between the time of physicality and time of the soul of the man, the time of the what we call this soul of physicality of this planet and the soul of this planet, all synchronized to one. Then is the time of the promise. That every child from the point of birth is a wealth of the humanity, not the burden on humanity, not burden on the parents and the life and the society. It needs a lot of planning, it needs a lot of working, but somebody has to put the first brick in to start the building. And we put as collectively that brick in, we start that creation of time. And then we see how the time will change for the man. To what extent man will change. To what we see. And how things will change. Where we see balance in the energies of the man and how mankind will understand that he has to be kind to himself. And how humanity will take that change. Where a child does not need to be born on the streets of Delhi on the pavement and know nothing about poverty and suffering, and a few meters away a child is born in the lap of luxury without even knowing what's the difference between the two. We as humanity handle the creation and creation of our own lives the wrong way, and it needs that change to be done. And the time for it is now to bring that change. Now we change the emotion between the whole structure that it brings the enlightenment. That not just by saying that no child goes to sleep hungry, but is there a child that it goes to sleep hungry? If you look at the structure of the United States today, especially in past 2 or 3 months, when we look deep into how many children today are going to sleep hungry, more than Africans for sure. Parents lost their jobs. There's no more job to go to. Everything has to be restructured. Those who are taking tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands every month and year, the company is not there to provide. There's no job. But the question is the time for man that he does not need a job to live, but he lives because of the joy of living? Does a dog, a fish, child dies of hunger because the father hasn't gone to work? Why should a child of a man be? Instead of striving and working just to live, man will live to enjoy life. what we structure is we're changing the emotion of the man to create a new dimension of time for the soul of the physicality of this planet that it needs, that with it, with interaction with the soul of the planet, will bring a new time. The evolution in the science of the man and the evolution in the cycle of the life of the man. You are not born to be poor. Does not matter who you are born rich to live, to enjoy, to change, and bring that emotion. And every one of us is a reason. Every one of us is the cause. Every one of us is part of that change. Today, we strive to change for peace. In the coming time, we have peace. We strive to find a way for elevation of the soul of the man and the planet, irrespective of color, race, religion, animal, shape, size, or whatever. And then there'll come that the man will bring that change, bring that cycle, to bring the position that the position is irrelevant, but the emotion will create a time where we promised, we sat, we waited for that position and place. The time is, mankind has reached that time through the soul, through the suffering, you call it, through the killing, collectively brought on each other, to reach that point that there's a need to do. There is no need for wars, as nobody can steal nothing from no one. There is no need for kingship, as everyone is equal from the time of birth. And would it bring the change? Would it bring what we are looking for by changing the emotion? Yes. That promised day is upon us. It's us to bring it to complete. And it's not tomorrow. It's when collectively we strive to bring that change in the emotion of man. Because the place, the position, and position will not change. But one is there to be elevated, that will change the emotion, that will change the enlightenment, that enlightenment, as is the field level, would change the whole totality of the man through position. And then man will find peace. The planet will find peace. The flow of a new knowledge and science and technology will bring a new dimension to humanity and on this planet, where instead of putting satellite to spy and bring satellites to kill each other, we put satellites to feed each other, to transfer energy that does not matter if you're in the depth of the planet, in the depth of the ocean, or on the top of the hills, all receive the same, and we don't need to kill. This process is part of the teaching today without you knowing what's happening to you. We have set up in that position, and we set up to bring that change in that position because we can change you. We can change and bring that milk and honey on the table through the structure of the man, advancement in technology and science. In a way, we've been good at it. We published our patents, and when we put the patent in, was not to hide it and secure it. It was there when it comes for the publication. Everybody has access to it, and we made it open to everybody else. We use the system to spread the knowledge in one go. Now we use the system of the science of the man to feed the man through the same process. You put music across the satellites. Now we teach you, we put food across satellites. As energy will go to hold every living thing on this planet. This is the reason why we put that picture on the screen you see now. We have already reached you without you knowing. If you see the picture on the screen and you think it's just honey, all of you on this past half an hour have been fed honey. As the fields. Did any of you taste honey? Did any of you crave for honey? Or it was just another picture? Some of you don't have the picture, you're just listening on whatever without the picture. Did any of you feel that? Did this picture, from the time it came out, triggered a new cycle of time on you? 15 minutes before we show the picture, we start feeding you honey in the background. We transmuted the energy across this planet because you're listening from every corner of this planet to this teaching. Now you can see how easily we can feed the humanity. See how you feel in the next few days. Does the honey taste the same as done to before today? Or has it changed its taste? Do you need to? Or have you been fed with the honey? Were you hungry before you start this program? And do you feel still hungry? Have we created a new time that all of you, hundreds of thousands of you around the world listening to this teaching, are fed? How much do they cost? Why man kills for energy to live, but with a new technology so simple to give to everyone freely? When you looked at this picture, did you taste the honey? Did you wish? Did you get up and go and get honey to eat? You do not know what we are doing with you today. We touch every sense of being within you today. We came to the wrong teaching, or he came to the right teaching, because the changes start. This is the beginning of the feeding the world through what we call channels of communication. And you are the guinea pigs for the first trials. There was a reason. We just didn't want to do it behind your back. 15 minutes before, we fed you with the honey. Would we, in the next sessions, feed all of you with different things? Will entice every instance of the change in man? It's the time where it should not cost money to be alive, to feed. It has to be a place where we are born with the wealth of the planet as energy, not the wealth of the planet as what it creates that we kill for. This is what the teachings from now on will be. We change the time where we bring that child, we bring the change through the system that many of you been with us in past months. You brought us the knowledge, you brought us the technology, and now we use combination of our technology and what is available at this moment of time as satellite communication, internet communication, whatever it is, we're transferring the energy. Now, if you feel the energy, now you understand how we felt Palestine. How we can bring man to the new dimension. We bring a new technology, but you don't want all the time, honey. You carry a mobile phone. App says Apple. I received Apple because within the sanctums of the Keshe Foundation structure, we have placed the energy of the apple for anyone on this planet who wants it. Does not need to cut an apple to kill an apple. You want lamb, you want to taste beef, is there, is set up for you. You don't need to kill an animal to get it. When I was a student in Manchester, we had a boy from Jordan in our classroom, very religious. And he was the joke of the class. Very serious boy. And he would not touch chips with a baking flour. He would not. Bacon flavor was out of order because he was bacon the Muslim. And on the package says, there is no bacon in this package. It's just a scent created to taste of flavored like bacon. So we can change the taste to what you like, but you receive the energy. Wish it to be the taste of the bacon, wish it to be the taste of apple. It's all the same. Your body takes what it needs from it. That 80% of the energy which you take from the environment now is with a wish of environment available. We play with you so fine today that you don't even know what is hitting you today and how it will change you in that dimension, in that direction, and in understanding the totality of the work. And in so many ways, you will see we change every emotion of the man. We test every sense of the man. And thanks to the Creator, we carry that knowledge to those. Will be interesting in the coming weeks and months. Would knowledge seekers and the public will come to the teaching because it's where they can get free food. Where they come to be enlightened, to bring balance with the emotion of the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality of the man. Today we start a new process. And this process will gather momentum and will become part of the life of the man on this planet. Where number of systems will feed the whole planetary system, all the man needs to nourish, where the man shall not kill for hunger. And we will satisfy the man's hunger for wealth. in a very short time. And we see the what we call the interaction of the fields of the creation and interaction of the emotion of the greed of the man. What will be interesting is in how we perceive and we play with the emotion and then with the picture. We fed you with honey without you knowing. And then after 15 minutes, we put the picture of honey in front of it. And after 15 minutes, we informed you about the honey. This is how we set out without you knowing to bring that change, to educate you that how in the coming time, man will bring that change. Man will bring the totality of understanding the wealth and the food of the man has to be free from time of the birth to the grave of the man when its half time is called. Don't forget what is honey to me. It could be energy level of an apple to you. I have different composition. If any of you have animals in the house, let them in the room where you're listening to the teaching and watch their behavior. They might not like honey because this animal doesn't eat honey, but does he receive the energy that it changes his behavior? Would it ask for more food? You can't observe your own behavior, watch your animals. And then we see how we put up the structures to change, to bring that change, and to create a condition of no man, no child should born hungry and die hungry. No man, no child should be born poor and die poor because he has to be enough for it to survive in the comfort of life. If you work much harder for it to have the additional, that's your privilege. But you cannot die of hunger. You cannot die of poverty. I bring that justice, and it's set up to be from now on. No child will be born poor. That if the parents can feed, every child will be born equal in wealth, and it'll be looked after through the system and the structure of what we set out to do. Because we have the technology, and this compensates for what the motherland, the earth, did not give to them. What didn't come from the center, we give from above. You created the satellites, you developed the system. Now we feed you with it. You're sandwiched in it. You have no choice but change. When there's a comfort, things change. Man will change. Man behavior will change. I was talking to some people very recently. I said, do you know something? In Austria, as employer, we pay 14 wages a year. Plus, they get 1 month holiday as well. In a way, you get 15 months wages. And we pay massive taxes. It's one of the most expensive countries in the world to live. We border Italy, which is one of the most, we all know what happened in Italy. If you stand still more than 2 seconds, your pocket is not empty, there is something wrong with the guy next to you. And where That line has been created, the imaginary line of a border. One side, we have hardly any crime. It's one of the most safest nations to live in. And on the other side, you hold on to your hand and your pants because you don't know when it's going to be taken from you. I lived in Italy for 6 years, and I lived in Austria for 6 years. Just the imaginary line of man. One nation, by law, gives enough that every man, as a refugee or a worker, to live a comfortable life, provides facilities. We get no crime. The other side robs and takes everything from it. The nation takes from each other. What do we get? Poverty and everything else which goes with the European nation. Walk to Vatican and see how many people asleep in boxes around in Rome. You don't see anyone in poverty because the nation provides for its citizens. It does not matter, born or refugee or citizens from another country. And the rest of the nation pays for it. To have that security, to have that comfort, to have that I don't have to worry what happens. They're going to grab my phones, they're going to rob me, or my house is going to be taken. Robbery, breaking houses is a very seldom unknown unless somebody has come from Germany or comes from France or Italy to do, and they still capture them. And this is how a man's life should be on this planet. Create a comfort. Create man, but it needs to be comfortable to live. Does not need to commit crime. Does not need to kill another plant. Does not need to do anything else. And this is the process which we start in the Keshe Foundation. And we set out for it. And how we, and through the technological development, and not by charity. One of the best things happened to mankind is a satellite and cryptocurrency. And one day I explain to you why. No attachment to physicality of this planet. No nation will rob another nation because of its gold. No nation plans to rob another nation and destroy everything to get to its gold because every man has enough gold. I set the basis of this for many of you without you knowing. Those of you who bought the coins, the 1,000 euro, and those of you who bought the cosmic ray bundle, which has got plenty of gold in it, at 1,000 euro, now you understand what I've done to you. Cash coin will be the only currency which is backed by gold because everyone asks for gold, we deliver gold. Gold by energy, gold by physicality. The only currency which will be valid in every household, in every nation, in the hand of every child born. Now you understand how I walked you through it. You still got one piece of puzzle to be added in the next few days. And when we agree to release it, then you understand how we bring that change, to change the emotion of not need to kill, not need to destroy, not need to end another life for me to be alive. what comes up, what sits with the teaching of today is we are changing the time. As a Keshe Foundation, we set out to change the time. The time for honey, the time for peace, the time for change that no one on this planet should be poor. How many of you have received a ball as a gift? If you think of it, every gram of gold plus the cosmic ray, which is with you, worth 1,000 euro, making per kilo $1 million, 1 million euro, where gold has not even have that value. You took the strive, you took the step to bring that change. And now you receive that change, because when you hold that ball in your hand, those of you who've done in both hands, and you felt the energy, is the pleasure which the physical gold does not give you. Physically you are, but emotionally and energy-wise you're fed. And that's gold. And this is the process we have started. And today we have started a new cycle of teaching, new process, in full understanding of how we can touch every essence of every sense of you as knowledge seekers. In past few minutes, you've seen the honey and the lavender. We did not put a picture of the lavender is there. It was added 15 minutes before we put the picture on. Through the energy of the fields, we have already fed you. Did any of you smell anything? Any change of smell? Any change of emotion change which that smell brings? Did you feel it before you see the picture? Now you understand. In the first, we fed you the food. In the second, we fed you the smell, which is one of the causes of man killing. I smell food, I'm hungry. You've already been fed with the honey. Now, we played with the dimension of the energy. We played with the dimension of food and the smell. And what does it need for man to change? And how long will it take the man to change? Would more of you will come to the teaching next week and the week after? As Thursday is the only time I get fed? Or do we religiously have to get up at 7 o'clock and get fed at 12 o'clock and then at 6 o'clock? There are two groups of people in Europe, which can say they're Dutch or Italians. You leave an Italian after 12:05 to work, he's totally nerve-wracked. You leave Italian after afternoon, some 6 or 7 o'clock, they're totally nerve-wracked because they're tuned to kill. That's the time hunting food. Dutch have the same behavior. Would we change our habit? Because now we are fed with 12 o'clock, I don't feel hungry to eat, I don't need to kill for it. I'm a vegetarian, I kill in thousands. I'm a meat eater, I kill one, and I call it the lamb, the sheep, the pig, or whatever. but I've shared the killing because it's too big, and there's 100 people have shared the body with me. Less guilt. And a vegetarian is happy. I didn't share with any. I killed all the thousands myself in a bowl of rice or in a bowl of wheat or in a bowl of lentils. I'm a very peaceful man. I kill in thousands. Do we need to do? The reason I put the honey and the lavender is one, to feed the man. It's the essence of joy. And the other one is the smell of the man. Wood in a space, you see energy and say, oh, you smell good. Can I eat you? I suppose in the old movie, the girls I've seen many times, the little white, blonde, blue-eyed girl sitting on a tree says to the little black girl with the brown eyes, can I lick you? Do you taste like chocolate? Would we taste another being where the saliva of our life in our mouth is a poison to their life? Would the scent of a creation, when they're created, will trigger in us to kill, to see how it tastes? This time we pick an apple from a tree, that time we pick a life from the tree of the universe. We are not educating you, we are changing you through your own essence of creation, using the most modern systems of satellites, mobile phones, and expensive computers you're sitting right in front of. This is where the change comes, and this is where I always say the time has come to bring the promise of milk and honey. And to what extent humanity will go to change now that we have introduced a new technology, converting energy of the food into energy of the man. And as the energy in the dimension of motion from us to you delivers energy which creates life, gives life, and saves life. To what extent would we go to understand the change? Go to position that we do not compromise our life to take another life, where being a vegetarian, a meat eater, a vegan is all killing, glorified by others, and in a way, frowned on by the others. What would the next generation of us look like when now we have brought this technology to feed the man through the communication line, through the fields of the universe? Would we lose our weightlessness? All this extra eating which made us fat? Would we gradually lose our stomach? Or would we our Are we getting trained to become passengers of universe where we don't need intestine? Would we get the advertisers coming up, my orange juice has so many energies, and would the restaurants go bankrupt that nobody walks in to eat? Would there be a restaurant business anymore? Or 80% of the shops in China will be closed for sure because they're all food shops. There will be no more pizzerias in around Europe. And how much mankind is kind to himself to understand the China. Are we creating a new time? Or have we pushed humanity from today to the new time? Observe your behavior in respect of food. Till next week. Observe the behavior of those who are around you. If your cat is in the house or in next to you and has been sitting during the session, because waves know no souls and no physicality of the man. Has the fish changed in the fish tank while you're listening in the room? How much and to what extent humanity and the created things on this planet are ready for change? Because change is on the table. It's in front of you. You can't change it. Knowledge has come. Now who's going to play the knowledge? You lot were quick to make the magrabs to save yourself energy. I wonder how quick are you now you know, but you don't know how actually convert it into his energy side yet because we haven't told you that. Are coming to get your free food every day. And how much this food will last you? A day, a week? Has it satisfied the smell of you? I chose lavender for a special reason. How many of you will stop smoking? How many of you become peaceful in behavior? How many of you who has had an infection will have no infection? And this process will carry on. I wonder, now you've seen what I've done to you 15 minutes before each picture. Can guess from the energy you receive what will be the third picture today. And what are you tasting in your mouth? What are you feeling, emotion of receiving? Because we are feeding you with something. Or are you just taking the energy without connecting it to any entity? Because as you hear my voice, that entity is fed through the same system, through channel 6 of the platform, live on this screen. You see, the unit is at work. Is, are you receiving, or are you taking? And how far are you there to catch? What is the structure, and what do you feel? Write down what energy you feel. Do you feel any energy? Are you receiving anything more than the lavender, what do you call it, honey? Are you, somebody says, I tease, I smell orange. Says, I tell you, Monica, you say, I tease, smell, and feel orange. Are you actually feeling orange or tasting orange? Or you're testing orange if you tell you if it's orange or not? Or is it lemon? You gotta wait 7 minutes to see. Even did your soul tell you what you teased? Write down what you taste, what you smell. You taste honey and you smell lavender. But doesn't need to be. This is how we change the time. And this is the process. How the future humanity will change. If some of you remember, people used to gather around the radio to hear the latest news, to see what the fear and what the Hitler has done, what the Allies are doing, and it was a big thing getting around the phone, the radio. Would the humanity get around the mobile phones and computers and the rest to receive the food, the elevation of the soul of the man? But there is a very big problem with this system, and that is we still pass these things through electronics, too many interference and the rest. Will it be better that if there was no intervention and it was a direct connection, that you receive the pure energy and would that bring the change for us to be able to move in the direction of what we call understanding oneself? By feeding ourselves through the field of the universe, we change the strength of the soul of the physicality and the soul of the man, and the time change. Would, when the man does not kill, lives for centuries, and the one who kills lives shorter because of the diseases, what it takes will bring him. Then ask yourself one single question. Why man changes his half time by killing the others where you can tap to universal energy and live a life of eternity for thousands of years. That's the only way man will survive in the span of the universe for thousands of years of man's time on this planet. When you don't take in the poison, you cannot die of a poison. This is a secret which is being kept away from man. But man had no solution. Man had no technology, had no way to substitute the killing. But do we actually even need the lavender or the orange or the honey or whatever, where we can tap into universal energy and live for thousands of years? In a way, we time our own death by ending another lifetime by choice of eating it. And what are we doing? We want the everlasting life. We want to be young. We want to live for hundreds of years. But we know we are the cause of it by killing, taking energies which don't mix, matches with our energy. And what happens? We die 60 years, 70 years, where by that killing, learning to take and tap into universal energy, we can live for thousands of years. Then it comes to a question. Suicide is forbidden. But why does man, every mouthful, commits that suicide? Makes one step closer to die faster. Where the wish, the emotion of the energy to keep the physicality going is enough to feed the man without actually the man physically killing for it. When you see in a space the bodies that look like whatever has no stomach and no mouth and communicates through the emotion of the physicality of the soul or the body, and you ask them how long they live, first of all, they have no human time race, and to their time, they've been there for millions of years. The color of the skin shows the intention of the man. What is the future of mankind? Why do we kill ourselves? By the food we eat, we shorten our lives and then we want to last longer. Where with the new understanding, we create a new dimension. With new understanding, we create a position for understanding what is our position within our lives. And what is our next step? And what can we do to understand that we are cause of our own demise? And we see people, they want more time when they're on the deathbed, but they don't realize that they created that time by the foods, by the energies they took in. By killing the other lives, the apple, the beautiful delicious steak, the marvelous mushrooms with the cream, and the rest. What's interesting is if man realizes that he is actually causing his own demise by the food he takes, and learns that he can take energy to the dimension of the emotion of the soul with the mantra. Now you got your answer. It was orange juice. Did the soul know? Was the taste nice? With the honey, we tasted your, or we tested your hunger. With the lavender, we tested your smell. And with the juice, we tested your thirst. And amazing enough, if you can have this free, why do you stop and create half-life time for the others? Will mankind will be kind to itself, that it can create a condition for life. And as the technology and science of the man has reached the point that we can provide facilities, bring in structures that no man needs to kill, no man needs to die of hunger, no man needs to be born poor and die poor, where we are all rich in the equal amount. Universal currency, cash flow currency, where you are born rich, not by name, by physically in the hand, that no mother can worry about where my child would come from, because it's already set to live a perfect life. The child had a perfect life in the womb of the mother. Why not from the second he's born? We have structured it, and you will soon understand it. And by demand of people, you'll bring it into operation in a very smooth way. We are here to serve, but the right way. I hope you enjoyed your time this morning, and I wonder how your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and emotions and the smell will be in the next few days and months to come. Watch the cat. What have you changed in his life, in his half lifetime?